Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Darlene. I'm Darlene Dion Designs here on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Etsy. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to, I'm getting up close to 1,000 subscribers, so yeah, I would love to have some subscribe love there. I have had several new ones this past couple of weeks. I had a shout out from Heather North, and it makes a big difference when someone who has several followers shows you out. So if you're watching me and you have some followers that you maybe think haven't watched me yet, I would love for you to shout me out. Anyway, just a little bit about life happening. We had an ice storm last Friday here I live in Nova Scotia. I'm in the southwest part of Nova Scotia on Canada's east coast. We had an ice storm. Actually, we are about 15 minutes away from Digby, which is the nearest town, and typically we get a little bit colder weather here than what they do in town. There's a place between here and town that we call the Ridge. It's Hillgrove Ridge, and they're up a little higher than us, and so it's typically a little bit colder there too. And then when you get to town, it's closer to the water, so it's warmer again. But this storm was kind of a little different. We were right on the line. Part of the province was supposed to get a little bit of freezing rain and then rain, and part of the province was supposed to get almost all freezing rain, and we were kind of right on the line between. So town, Digby, and the Hillgrove Ridge got almost all day ice, freezing rain, and it was quite amazing. We didn't get any until late in the afternoon, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We started getting ice. And so it did build up some on our trees and our everything, our vehicles, everything was coated with a thick layer of ice. But out on the ridge, we went out on Sunday afternoon. The sun had come out and it was beautiful, beautiful. I had been seeing some pictures on Facebook, which I knew I would. And so we went out to take a drive and I took some pictures, and it was just absolutely amazing, beautiful. It was just, and I can show you the pictures, but the pictures don't do it justice. I am going to show you some on my iPad. The pictures don't do it justice. It just, I can't explain. I don't think I've ever seen ice like that before. The trees, especially the smaller trees, the birch trees and well, every kind of tree. There was a lot of damage too. A lot of people lost limbs, and some trees. We had no power for 31 hours, I think it was. Anyway, I am going to show you a couple of pictures that I really are my favorites. This one is at my friend Shelley's blueberry farm. So these are blueberry bushes that you see here coated with ice. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted a bunch of them there too. And then this one, you see the trees here some. So what you see in there, the white on the trees, is all ice. There's no snow on the trees. There's just snow on the ground. What saved us was there was no wind. There was very little wind. The wind did come up a little bit on Saturday, but not bad. So you see the ice there. And this one on the fence. Anyway, I did have a picture, and I shouldn't say I had it, but a friend posted it, that showed just a small limb, like, you know, the size of a pencil, and that was probably 2 inches across with ice. The limb was about the size of a pencil, and there was on both sides of it. It made it to be about 2 inches across. So it was quite a storm. It's not typically something, I mean, we do typically get ice, but not for that long a period. And yeah, it was beautiful. You know, I love weather. I love winter, and I I'm not complaining. It was beautiful. Anyway, COVID continues to be an issue here. It's my mom's 80th birthday tomorrow, and we had planned to do a little celebration there at the nursing home with her, and we've had to postpone that. Just there's some cases there in the nursing home now, and her particular house is in isolation, or not the whole house is, but well, yes, the house is in isolation, but one resident in particular had to be isolated, and we can go in. My sister and I are the designated caregivers. We can go in to visit her, but I'm a little compromised medically, so it's best if we hold off. So we're going to hold off for another week or so and see if it has passed a little bit, and hopefully it has. So that's a little disappointing. I had posted on Facebook that where we couldn't have a big celebration, we were hoping that she would receive, we put the call out for her to receive birthday cards, and we were hoping that she would receive lots, and we asked the nursing home to hold them until we could be there to go through them with her, because she won't know who a lot of them are from. She won't know who they're from anyway. She has Alzheimer's. But if you're interested in sending a card, please send me a message. I would love to give you her address, and if you want to do that. I know some people who are card makers particularly like to send cards to anyone that they know is celebrating, or that they don't know, because it's a good way to use their beautiful homemade cards. So if you're interested in that, send me a message and I will get you her address. So cross stitch, which is what you're here for. I should have mentioned earlier, I do mostly Darlene Dion Designs is I design quilt patterns and sell them in my Etsy shop, and so I quilt and cross stitch. Most of what you see here is cross stitch. I will do some quilting, but I'll show that at the end. If you're not interested in that, you don't have to stick around. I'm going to start off with my giveaways. I had a couple of giveaways last week, and I forgot to bring the pieces in. I gave away two. I don't know if I said two now or one, but I only did the random picker for one. So I will do those right now, and I'll check the video to see if I said one or two, and if I did say one or two, I will do those in my next video. I have another video, and I have another giveaway for today. Anyway, for my Wilbur, which was the snowman, just the snowman on his own pattern, that is a PDF download pattern. Wilbur, my friend Wilbur, that goes to, wrong page, Diane Beckman. So Diane, if you could get in touch with me, I list my email and whatnot below. You can also message me on Instagram or Facebook. And for Frosty's Ride, that's the one where there's a snowman and a tree in the back of a truck. That one went to ND Quilter 1. So Diane Beckman for Wilbur and ND Quilter 1 for Frosty's Ride. So please get in touch with me, and I will send those out. I need your email address, so I will send those out to you once I hear from you. And I'll do another giveaway a little later in today's video. Cross stitch. I had another morning of finishing that I was trying to get a few things finished up. I'm trying to get a few things stitched and made enough to fill my dough bowl for Valentine's Day, which I had never stitched much for Valentine's Day before. So that was kind of fun. I enjoyed doing that. I did stitch this one last year, but I just finished it this past week. This is one of Melissa's from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting blogspot, one of her freebies that she so generously gives to anyone who wants it. I changed the year on this one. This was the year that my paternal grandmother was born, 1888. So I put her year on there, and I finished it with some rose-colored fabric on the back, and I actually finished this one on the bottom seam instead of making a seam on the back. Anyway, it's cute. I love it. and that's in my dough bowl. This one I'm not thrilled with, but decided to show it anyway. I love the piece. It's a hands-on design freebie, and I really love it, but I cut my heart. I set it on the heart a little bit too low, and I almost went into the stitching there in the dip. But anyway, it's cute, and it'll look cute in the bowl. So I put a couple little wooden buttons on there, and yeah, I put red check on the back and a piece of red felt to cover the filling hole. So that was fun. Then this one is a freebie from that's awful. I should have looked it up. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it in the notes below. Love Never Fails. I love this one. And I put one of those little, I don't know what you call them, those little safety pins that's got the round bottom and some old buttons on there. Anyway, I really like that. It's cute. I tried to do a variety of Valentine colors instead of all red or all pink. I tried to do a mix. This one also was a freebie from Stone Street Stitchworks that I stitched. I think it was last weekend I stitched it. Anyway, I made it into a pillow, added some of this lace that I've had in my stash. I used to be really heavy into scrapbooking, and I had some of this lace then, and I use it very sparingly because I love it so much. But it did work really well for this, and I have red on the back. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So that was that. And then one more full finish. I stitched this one last year, and I showed the January one not too long ago, and I just finished the February one too. So it just pops out of the little frame, and yeah, I put some rose. It's the same fabric that I used on the back of this one. So what was that? I used that in there. So the color worked really well for that. I changed the colors on this piece, the floss colors on this piece. They're listed in my post way back last year when I posted it on Instagram. I'll try to put them in the notes. Anyway, it is 28 count tea coffee dyed Lugana that it's on. But like I said, the floss colors I changed. So yeah, I really love it. That sits in an easel beside my tier tray. Then I had a couple starts, a couple of finishes. This one was a start and a finish. This was a freebie by, oh my goodness, I can't think today. Jeanette Douglas Designs. This is part of that year-long floral sampler that she's doing. It's just so beautiful, and I want to do them all, but I started with this one where it was what I was needing for my dough bowl right now was the Valentine pieces. So I'm actually hoping to finish that one this afternoon. So that'll be a little pillow. I really love it. I used the DMC conversion as much as I could for, I don't think it actually called for DMC colors. I don't think so. I think I had to look it up and see what I could find. So anyway, I love the way it looks. I'm gonna put 2022 on the bottom. I forgot to do that. And this is another one of Melissa's Pinker and Pumpkin quilting pieces. This is her Dorothy May's Spring House. I really loved this one online when I first seen it. The pink, I love pink. I love pink, but it's not something I sew with a whole lot. But when I seen this one, I thought, oh, that is so cute. I gotta make it. So my Grammy that lived next door, her name was Dorothy. And so I thought, oh, that's so cute. I'll put her initials and the year she was born on it. And the more I stitched, the more I was thinking, I wonder what Grammy's middle name was. And I was like, I know my Aunt Linda's middle name is May. And I thought, well, maybe she was named after Grammy's middle name. Anyway, so sure enough, I went looking in the family, or I guess I asked, and her middle name was May. So it was just perfect. So Dorothy May's Springhouse. Yeah, and I changed the colors, some of the colors on this too. I changed the colors of the flower pots. I changed the green. I changed the color of these birds. This flower pot too. I think that was all I changed. Anyway, that is on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. So I will finish that as a pillow. And it's where it's pink, I think I'll put it as for my dough bowl. I'm participating in the oh my goodness, cross stitch winter cross stitch camp. I think that's what it's called, that Colorado Stitcher is doing. So I watched her episode about the winter cross stitch camp this week, and I had seen lots of people posting, and so I decided I wanted to do this. So the challenge is during the month of February, you start a piece that is monochromatic, all one color. So this is a oh my, this is a freebie. I can't remember again who it's by. Oh my, I'll put it below in the notes. Anyway, it's very pretty. I love it. I'm using a piece of Ada that I had in my stash. It's 14 count, and I'm using 815, DMC 815. I really love the way it looks, but I gotta tell you, I don't think I've ever frogged anything as much as I have frogged this. Oh my goodness, it's like 2 stitches forward and 3 stitches back. Oh my. Anyway, but I'm getting there. I finally got all the way around, and actually right there, no, I think it's okay. I was gonna say, it looks as though there's something off there, but no, I don't think it is. But it wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, like I said, I can't remember who the design is by, but I will put it in the show notes below. So you register by posting something on Instagram with their hashtag that you have started, and then if you get it finished before the end of February, you post again that you are finished, which I hope to have finished by actually soon, so that I can put it in my dough bowl. I'm also participating in Stitch the Winter Olympics with the Nap Time Stitcher. And we're on day 6, I think it is today, day 5 or day 6. And a friend of mine, 2 friends of mine are stitching this, and they asked me to stitch with them. This is this is Winter Wonderland by Historic Sampler Company. Have I got it up? Here we go. There, that's better. They stitched it on a light minty green, and this is actually Pebble, 25 count Pebble by Lori Holt. And I'm going to change the colors. I want it to be more of a wintry colorway rather than Christmassy colorway. So I'm going to add quite a bit of blue. Anyway, I'm really enjoying that. And this one of the days for the Stitch the Olympics were stitch the colors of any of the colors from the Olympic rings, which are blue, green, yellow, red, and black. So that day I hit yellow, green, and red. So that was good. Yeah. And I know the other days, can't really remember what I stitched on the other days. Maybe these. Yeah, some of these are them. One day was stitch an animal, stitch something that you've gotten progress with an animal in it, or start something new. And so I hauled out my Prairie Santa Schooler, my Prairie Schooler Santa with this is the 2021, I think. Yep, with the bunnies, the wind-blown Santa, and I added the boot, I added a little bit of his green on the trim of his coat, and I added the white for the bunny. And again, I do not like stitching with white. Chrissy from Finally a Farm Girl suggested I try Snowball from Classic Colorworks and see if that might help. So I am going to order some of that and see if that is better for me. Anyway, we'll see. Another day was, well, yesterday was Stitch Something Round. And this is one that I started last year, and I started it on 28 count Monica with a red floss, and I did not like it. I got a fair bit done, but I didn't like it. I think I got the first two words the first two rows of words done. And I just didn't have any desire to stitch it. So I decided to abandon that and start it again. So I started it yesterday for Stitch Something Round, which would be the O's. There are 8 of those little puppies in there. And this is 25 count Heritage Even Weave. No, 25 count Farmhouse Even Weave by Lori Holt. And I did 1/1. So I used 3371, DMC 3371, and I'm stitching 1/1, and I like it much better, which it's half the size, which, yeah, it's cute. So it's about 8 inches wide from side to side, and it is the 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter. Love is patient, love is kind, and I'm really enjoying that. So, yeah. So that was good for the Stitch the Winter Olympics challenge. Can't remember. I can't really remember what the other 2 days were. But I stitched them all anyway. And another work in progress that I wanted to show you is my Blessed Assurance. I'm pretty sure I showed you this in my last video. This is by My Big Toe Designs, and I came across them on Instagram, I think it was, and just loved all of them. She has a line of hymns. So I went to her Etsy shop and bought that up and got it started right away. This is 28 count Cream Lagana. It's creamy. I don't know if that's the actual color. It's been in my stash for years. Anyway, I really love how it looks. I'm doing the DMC I'm doing a mix. I'm doing the DMC for the blues, which is 930 and 932, I think it is. And the green, I had a skein of Valdani, might have been olive green, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I only have one skein, so I'm using it very, very, very carefully. Anyway, so hopefully I have enough. If not, I'll have to try to order another one. So anyway, I just love it. And I can just envision a whole wall of her hymn pieces. So Blessed Assurance, It Is Well With My Soul, Amazing Grace, How Great Thou Art, When I Survey the Wondrous Cross. Those are some of them. I just love them all. I love them all. Anyway, you'll be seeing more of them in my future. So that was what I had for stitching today. I wanted to mention some of the Flosstubers that I watched. As I said earlier, it's nice to shout people out, and so I wanted to do that. Someone new that I watched this week was Stitching with Sandy. My internet, where we didn't have power for a while, I had to be very careful with what I did with my internet because we're based on data here in my neck of the woods. So anyway, I didn't get as much watch as I typically would like to, but I watched Stitch In with Sandy. She has some really cute finishes. She's fairly new. I don't think she's got a whole lot of videos. Maybe about the same number as me. I'm not sure. Anyway, I really enjoyed her and her finishing. And I came across Stitching on the Rock, which is a neighboring province, Newfoundland. I really enjoyed. She has 3. She's a new Flosstuber. So if you get a chance, go on over to see her. I will put the links for both of those in the show notes below. I really enjoyed watching both. I've also watched some of the regulars that I really love. Yasmin's Made with Love, Mama Loves You GB, The Contented Stitcher. The Contented Stitcher, Kim and I are going to do a stitch along together. Possibly in March, we're going to do The Mighty Acorn from Winds of Autumn Blackbird Designs book. So if you think you might be interested in stitching that with us, get yourself that book. It's a beauty. There's just everything that's in it is high on my list. I want to stitch them all. I watched Whilst Iris Snaps. I always enjoy her pieces and I just love her personality. She's great. And she has a new, was it her? Might not have been. I was going to say she had a new reproduction sampler. I'm not sure. Cynthia Brew, I really enjoy her YouTube. Flosstube, she had a little bit of a snowman parade. That was fun. Cornhusk State Stitchers, I always enjoy them. They are a mother and daughter team, and I love their relationship. You can just see how much they love each other, and I really enjoy that. I also wanted to mention my friend Sarah. I had very little haul, nothing really this week, but I did pick up some vintage lace from my friend Sarah. She has a Etsy shop, and a lot of the things that she has there are vintage home decor. She has a bit of vintage sewing items, dishes. She just has a cute little vintage shop. It's called The Little Sissiboo Shop. We live on a road called Sissiboo Road, which is Sissiboo. It is a native word, and it means 6 owls. So I will put the link for Sarah's shop below so that you can check her out. Yeah, she is a homesteader, just 2 minutes from where I live. We buy our eggs from her, and she's a lovely, good friend. So I'm going to do a giveaway for today. Full disclosure, this is a piece that I've stitched, and so I'm passing on the pattern, so it's not brand new, but I don't think I marked it up at all or anything, so it's great. It is the Virtue Sampler by Little House Needleworks, and if you would be interested in stitching that, please leave a comment below, and in your comment, please include the word patience. One of the word patience is there. All of the other, of course I can't remember them. Anyway, use the word patience in your comment. You have to be over 18. Please don't use the word giveaway in your comment. Freebie, don't use that. You know the rules. You know the routine. But if you are interested in this, please leave a comment and make sure you include the word patience, because that's how I will search for your comment. Now, on to quilting. I make and sell a fair amount of project bags, and so for anybody that's a cross stitcher or a quilter, this is kind of the crossover part where you might be interested in both aspects of my crafty world. I love Kim Deal fabric. I'm not alone. I have a collection of it, and a few years ago they came out, I think it was the first time they came out with the Splendid sampler blocks that they were doing maybe 1 a week or 2 a week, I can't remember, and they're small 6-inch blocks, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna make those blocks. I'm gonna use all Kim Deal fabric, and that's what I did. I made several of them, and then I got too busy to continue, and there the blocks sat, which is so typical of me. Anyway, I thought I'm going to dig out those blocks and use them to make project bags. So I have several started. And I'm going to show them to you today, just so that you have a heads up if you're interested in a project bag. They will land in my Etsy shop sometime. I can't promise any time, any specific time, but this one is a Dresden plate. This one is an hand embroidered block. So I've got the binding and the top piece attached here. So anyway, so these were all designed by different designers that participated in the Splendid sampler. A heart block. This one is a paper piece block, got a lot of tiny little pieces in it. I don't know what it's called, but it is very pretty. This one is a paper piece block for kind of like a seamstress block. A needle, a spool of thread, and a dress. They were fun to make. I really enjoyed them, but oh, that's something else. This one is just a postage stamp patchwork block. This one is one of my favorites. The stars. And I really loved this one. This is a paper pieced one too. Star. So that's all Kim Deal fabrics. And then I had one more block that I had made for something else, and I used that for a project bag as well. A yo-yo. So they will be in my Etsy shop when I can get them made. Sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping. So that is all that I had that would be the crossover. Thank you so much. If you're not interested in sticking around for the rest of it, I just have a couple little things to show for quilting. Thanks for visiting. Please be sure to enter the giveaway if you're interested, and enjoy your cross stitching this week. I am debating participating in the Dear Jane sew along that Olivia from Pumpkin Patch Quilting is doing with might be Chrissy from Crosshatch Quilts. I kind of think it is. Anyway, I have always wanted to do a Dear Jane quilt. I have the book. I actually started the quilt. I wanted to do mine all in red, and I started it probably in 2014. I can't remember for sure. But when I saw that Olivia was doing this, I thought, oh, I should get mine out and participate in that and get that done. So I did. I dug it out, and I have more blocks made than I thought. I thought I only had like 10 or 11 blocks done, and I actually have 20, but I don't have any triangles. They're doing 3 or 4 blocks a month, or I think it's a month. And then they're also doing a triangle one of the border triangles. So I thought, well, that would give me the incentive to at least get some of the triangles done. So anyway, I thought I would show you my blocks that I have finished. And like I said, I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to, but I can see myself doing it. So these are my first few blocks, and I'm using all different scrappy reds. No particular order, rhyme, or reason. It's just red. I do have a layer cake of reds by, I think it's French General, that I'm using some. They're not all of that fabric, but I did put that layer cake in that container to pull from as I needed it. And then I have the second row started, which is anyway, really, they're fun. They're really fun. It kind of stretches you, takes you out of your comfort zone. You know, if you don't like, if you're not comfortable with paper piecing, well, you know, it's a good stretch for you to use some of the things, so some of the techniques that you're unsure of. Paper piecing, there's some hand applique, there's some, there's an applique technique that's, it's kind of the reverse of how you normally do it. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, that's in there. Everything, there's a little bit of everything. So, you know, if you think you'd like to participate, order the book, and it's a good opportunity to get in on that. So, like I said, I think I'm going to do that. Last week I told you about my block of the day, kind of, that I'm doing. It's my hashtag 2022 Scrappy Stash Buster. There were no rules. I gave block instructions for one block. It's the same block for every day. You do it if you have time. If you don't, it's not a big deal. If you end up with 200 blocks, fine. If you end up with 25 blocks, fine. If you end up with 365 blocks, that's fine too. It's whatever works for you. I know there's a lot of people doing it, and a lot of people are going ahead and making 4, 5, 6 blocks a day. So whatever they have room for, whatever they have time for. I have 22 blocks made so far. And you know, one of the worst things I hate about quilting is having to put the darn thing together after I've got all the blocks made. So I decided to sew my blocks on as I make them. So every day after I make the block, I sew it on to the rest of the quilt. It's all scraps, every bit of it. The darks and the lights all came from my scrap baskets. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it, and I am using lots of beautiful scraps. Now, I gave the instructions in my Facebook group. I think it was on January the 14th. I also gave them in my Instagram post for that day. I might also have put them in the Facebook page, business page that I have. I'm not sure. So if you want to follow along and use up your stash, please find those instructions and help yourself. Like I said, I won't be giving any finishing instructions. I won't be giving any, there's nothing to print. It's all there. If you need to screenshot your page or the post to keep it where you want it, that's up to you. But I'm just trying to make it easy for myself and everyone else. It's just a way to use up some scraps and to end up with a quilt at the end of the year that you otherwise would not have made. Anyway, I think that's it for me today. Plans, I'm going to continue with the Stitch the Winter Olympics because I love the Olympics. I really enjoy watching them and cheering for my Canadian team. And I'm going to finish or work on my heart for the winter cross-stitch camp piece. Today's prompt is stitch something from a series. So I kind of think I might start. I've got the March one done, and the next one is the April one that I need to do. So I'm thinking about starting that today. If it's not that, it will be one of Melissa's from Pink and Pumpkin Quilting's houses. Anyway, one of those two things I will start today. It depends on my fabric. Yeah. Never seem to have enough fabric. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by. Happy stitching. We've got lots of winter left here, so I'm sure that I will be hunkered down for some more storms and enjoying every minute of that for my stitching life. Have a great day. Bye.